অফ স্টাম্পের একটু বাইরে লেংথে বল করছেন, পেস ওই 125 120 এইরকম।
তিনটি বল থেকে এখনো কোনো রান আসেনি। ওভারের চতুর্থ বল নিয়ে মাশরাফি যাচ্ছেন ওভার দ্য উইকেটে। এবারে কিন্তু একটু সোজা বলই দিয়েছিলেন, সেই জায়গা থেকে স্ট্রেইট ব্যাটে খেলেছেন, তবে ইনসাইড এজ হয়ে বলটা যাচ্ছে শর্ট মিড উইকেটে ফিল্ডিং হয়েছে, সেখান থেকে রান এ বল থেকেও নেই। ওয়াকার ফুটের স্কোর আপডেটটা কিন্তু এখনো সচল হয়নি, কোনো রান হয়নি। ওয়েস্ট ইন্ডিজের কোনো উইকেটের পতনও ঘটেনি। হোপ রয়েছেন স্ট্রাইকে, 4টি বল তিনিই মোকাবেলা করেছেন। প্রথম ওভার পাওয়ার প্লে এবং মাশরাফি রয়েছেন সেই দায়িত্বে। অন্যদিকে আমরিস হোপের সঙ্গী।
পঞ্চম বল নিয়ে যাবেন সেই হোপের বিরুদ্ধে মাশরাফি মর্তুজা, স্লিপে একজন ওভার দ্য উইকেট বল করলেন, এবার লেগ স্টাম্পের উপরে হয়ে গেল, ফ্লিক করেছেন, স্কোয়ার লেগের দিকে বল যাচ্ছে, স্লাইড করে কুড়িয়ে ফেরত দেওয়ার আগে অবশ্য প্রথম রানটি পেয়ে গেলেন হোপ। ওয়েস্ট ইন্ডিজের সংগ্রহ বাড়ল 1 বিনা উইকেটে। শ্রোতা বন্ধুরা, রেডিও ভূমি FM 92.8 সঙ্গে আপনারা রয়েছেন। আজকে ঢাকা এবং পার্শ্ববর্তী এলাকার সময় অনুযায়ী ইফতারের সময় 6:38।
শেষ বল প্রথম ওভারের মাশরাফি বিন মর্তুজা, তবে এই মুহূর্তে স্ট্রাইকে থাকবেন আমরিস। প্রথমবারের মতো বল মোকাবেলা করবেন। একেবারে প্রথম বল থেকেই কিন্তু চমৎকার নৈপুণ্য আজকে দেখাচ্ছেন মাশরাফি, এবং প্রতি ম্যাচেই তিনি তা দেখিয়ে থাকেন। অন্যতম আসলে কত বিশেষণে বিশেষায়িত করা যায় সেটা আসলে সকলেই আমরা জানি। শেষ বল নিয়ে যাচ্ছেন ওভার দ্য উইকেটে, এবারেও কিন্তু ইনসুইঙ্গিং ছিল, মিডল স্টাম্পের উপরে ফ্লিক করেছেন, স্কোয়ার লেগে থেকে বল যাচ্ছে, ফিল্ডিং হলো, রান আসলেই। এরই সাথে ওভার শেষ। প্রথম ওভার শেষে 2 বিনা উইকেটে ওয়েস্ট ইন্ডিজ।
তুমি অনেক চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছো, তুমি আর ভালোবাসো না আমাকে। আগে বৃষ্টি আসলে রোমান্টিক হয়ে যেতাম, আর এখন বৃষ্টি আসলেই ভয়ে ভয়ে থাকো।
চিন্তায় আমার প্রেম আসে না, বৃষ্টি আসলেই চিন্তা হয় এই বুঝে বাড়ির রংটা নষ্ট হয়ে গেল। সাধারণ রং লাগালে বৃষ্টির টেনশন থাকবেই, টেনশন ছাড়া থাকতে বাড়িতে লাগান রেইনবো ওয়েদার কেয়ার পেইন্ট। রেইনবো ওয়েদার কেয়ার পেইন্ট ইউভি রেজিস্ট্যান্ট, ওয়াটারপ্রুফ এবং ডার্ট প্রুফ হয়। দেয়ালকে বছরের পর বছর সুরক্ষা দেয়।
রেইনবো পেইন্টস একটি আরএফএল পণ্য।
ন্যাচারাল লেমনের রিফ্রেশিং স্বাদে সব ভুলে এবার মনের পাখা খোল। আইসিসি ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপের সবগুলো খেলার ধারাভাষ্য শুনবেন রেডিও ভূমি 92.8 FM এ।
বন্ধুরা, শুনছেন রেডিও ভূমি FM 92.8। আজকে সেই মহেন্দ্র খন, যে দিনটার অপেক্ষায় হয়তো আমরা অনেকেই ছিলাম, বিশেষ করে বাংলাদেশি ক্রিকেট লাভার্সরা। ঘটে যেতে পারে সকল জল্পনা কল্পনার অবসান, ঘটে যেতে পারে আজকে। কোনো গ্লোবাল ট্রফি নেই, এই গ্লানি থেকে আমরা বেরিয়ে আসতে চাই। সাইফুদ্দিন ইনিংসের দ্বিতীয় ওভারে ডানহাতি স্টিমার ওভার দ্য উইকেট, আউটসাইড অফ স্টাম্প, আউটসুইঙ্গিং ডেলিভারি, ব্যাটসম্যান ব্যাট উঁচিয়ে যেতে দিলেন এমব্রিজ, খেলবার কোনো চেষ্টাই করলেন না। পাওয়ার প্লেটা চলছে।
পাওয়ার প্লে ব্রট টু ইউ বাই রেইনবো পেইন্টস, ছড়াও জীবনের রং।
জয় 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 চাই, জয় ছাড়া কোনো বিকল্প নাই। 13 ম্যাচে 11 উইকেট, 45 রান দিয়ে 3টি উইকেট পাওয়া হচ্ছে মোহাম্মদ সাইফুদ্দিনের ওডিআই ক্যারিয়ারের বেস্ট একটি স্পেল। এই মুহূর্তে তিনি রয়েছেন বোলিং প্রান্তে, দ্বিতীয় ওভারের দায়িত্বে। আমরিস 2 বল থেকে 1, অন্যদিকে 5 বল থেকে 1 রান হোপ যাচ্ছেন ওভারের দ্বিতীয় বল নিয়ে ওভার দ্য উইকেটে, আউটসাইড অফ স্টাম্প বল, সেক্ষেত্রে কাট করেছেন, তবে পয়েন্টে থাকা ফিল্ডারকে বিট করতে পারেননি।
Yeah, just pitched and left him. Average first innings total in the last 5 ODIs here in Malahide is 260. Malahide scored 300 plus, and the Windies chased that one down. Teams chasing actually have won 4 of the last 5 at this ground. Bangladesh backing themselves this morning in the toss and bowling. It's been a good start from this opening bowling pair. Mortaza yielding just 2 runs in the opening over. We've had 4 dot balls so far. Ambrose on 1, Hope on 1. Nicely worked down to third man, Mosaddeq Hassan.
That's the Bangladesh captain, 35 years of age now. Found it difficult actually, Ortaz against Ireland the other day. They take a wicket not for 47, but a couple of 3-fers in both games against the West Indies in this series. End of 2, 3 without loss. Ashraf continuing from the polar end or commentary box end. He's been pretty much on the money so far, hasn't he, in his first 7 deliveries?
He's going to have a look. His previous over, and he's challenging the batsman. He's getting into a little bit of form as well with the ball. That's what you want to see from your new ball bowler and your leader and your skipper. That is well bowled. He doesn't mind you tucking the ball for a single there. He's been bang on the money. Beautifully bowled again. If he can just get that one to straighten. Roll the fingers over the seam slightly. Just get it to straighten. Sometimes you find the batsman premeditating the line and the length in terms of he's nipping it back the last couple of deliveries. So you've got to outfox the batsman.
Overpitched that one, and it got the treatment it deserves. Ambrose, first boundary, through the covers for 4. Nice shot, just overpitched it.
First blood to the Windies. Too full, too easy. Neil Ambrose, he's in good nick. He's not going to miss out on that whatsoever. He just crunched that through. Extra cover, beautifully played.
Since his elevation to be an opener, John Campbell not playing since the first game. Sonal Ambrose has made 32, 128 against Ireland and 23 in his last 3 games, so seems to be enjoying this series, the 26-year-old for St. Vincent.
And as a coach, and as a selector as well, you want to see these young players grabbing their opportunity as well. There's nothing that makes a coach or a selector more happy than seeing players perform when the big guns are out.
It's not where he intended to hit it, but they're going to get a couple of runs for it. I come back for the 3rd. In fact, they do. Sadek Hussain preventing the 4s of rolling up the hill. He comes through for 3 runs.
And that's what I like about Sheho. He pushes you. That's good running by this pair. Good aggressive running. Not all about being aggressive when you're batting in terms of hitting the ball for boundaries, but between the wickets. That's what sets the momentum in your batting as a team.
That'll end 3, 10 without loss. Seifert continuing to Sunil Ambris. Slight correction in that score I gave you the last over. I said it was 128. It was in fact 148 he scored against Ireland. Sunil Ambris in his 6th ODI. So 38, 148 and 23 in the last 3 games. It's the guy who replaced John Campbell. Hasn't played since that 178 against Ireland in Clontarf on the 5th of May. Has a back injury. Don't know, Tino, if you've heard this, is this a concern for Campbell and for West Indies, or just precautionary?
I think it's more precautionary than anything else. It's not in the original World Cup squad. But what I think about when I hear batsmen having back issues and stuff like that, I always believe that it comes down to strength and conditioning. Something that I've really admired in his early days in the Barbados team with myself was Shea Hope. He used to lift as much weights as I was lifting as a fast bowler, and that was very encouraging. And when I talk about lifting weights, I don't mean that things that's going to keep him strong. And I remember we had a competition, not really a competition, but we had a fitness test, and Shea Hope did more push-ups than me. I was impressed, and I absolutely love his attitude, because I said if all the young batsmen can adapt this attitude, taking their strength and conditioning very serious, I think it helps them prevent them from having injuries, and that is something John Campbell and the strength and conditioning team has to look at. Just making it a culture. You have to make it a culture in cricket. I know cricket is not a contact sport, but it happen is because Matassa is bowling that beautiful length, nipping it back. Ambris just sees a little bit of room when he thinks he can cash in, but it was too close to cut. So good bowling from the skipper. That's why I was talking about, saying if he can get that one to straighten and it bounces well. So good bowling, good accurate bowling as well. That's what happens when you're bowling and you're putting them under pressure.
Well, that's smacked away, but there is a fielder down there, Mohammed Mitoun, sweeping in the mid-wicket boundary. cracked away, but straight to the fielder.
I don't mind that at all. If you can get that a little higher, maybe you get a top edge in the air, someone runs around catching a square leg or mid-wicket or a sharp fine leg. If it doesn't come off, he has the protection on the square leg boundary. So good captaincy, bowling to his field.
And Mitchell doing the fielding.
And one of the things you hate to see as a spectator or even someone in the commentary box is when a bowler doesn't bowl to his field. He sets a particular field and he bowls opposite. I mean, I'm laughing, but sometimes I used to do that when it was playing.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, it's very easy to talk about it in the commentary box now. So it's cut down to third man, but many a times I've set a field and in the middle of it running up, I say, you know what, I'm going to bowl a short ball. I don't have no man back, nothing. I just said, I'm going to do that. And then sometimes, you know, you have a brain freeze. Just goes completely against the team plans. I was one that was always in trouble for that. Final delivery.
You are a rebel, Tina West. 15 without loss.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ। গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
কাজী প্রথম, কাজী সেরা।
এটাই বেস্ট। প্রাণ ঝালমুড়ি এমনই টেস্ট, বাকি সব কিছু থেকে এটাই বেস্ট। পানির প্রয়োজনে আমরা আছি সবসময় আপনার পাশে। বাংলাদেশের সর্বাধিক ব্যবহৃত পানির ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী ট্যাঙ্ক। গাজীর প্রথম, গাজীর সেরা। বাংলাদেশের সমৃদ্ধিতে গাজী গ্রুপ।
Beautiful stroke. Absolutely wonderful timing. Straight down the ground, out of the screws of the bat. Hope goes on his merry way. That just shows you he's in good nick. And off the bat. One of his better shots in this series, but effective. Well bowled by Safadin as well. I think he might have a moral victory there, saying could have chipped that back to me. Bit of line, bit of length. Attacking the top of the off stump, Tino. As an opening bowler, you've got to test that forward defence. This is Shy Hope, this series. Great numbers. Great. Isn't a word you use very often, but they are great numbers. Averaging 100. He's been sensational, and that man, Sunil Ambris, has come in a position that he's probably never done in his life. Tall, Sterling, one of my favourites, Andy Balberni. That 100. Wow, that is 4 runs. That is a funny shot for 4. I said funny because he was beaten with the line and the length, but he just went through it. Oh, those bats of today. Well, it looked like he was aiming leg side. Maybe the ball just stuck in the pitch a little bit. Seifert, as you mentioned, the previous ball, a moral victory, but 4 more runs to the West Indies total on a pitch that looks a little bit slow and low. Overcast conditions, but they've got a good start here, the West Indies. Had to toss it with Saint to bowl because the surface looked hard, but it is slightly too pace. And I think this might play in the West Indies' hand, you never know. But a good start from Bangladesh so far. Not allowing the West Indies to get a helter-skelter start. Only 23 runs. Nearly 6 overs now. Only 2 balls remaining in this over. Well, the leading run scorers in the series, quite interesting. A number of West Indians and a couple of Irishmen. No Bangladesh batsmen. But they've played a better cricket because they've played like a team. I think sometimes in cricket you do get the individual performances and the team don't do well. Have to bowl that over. But look, one of the best hundreds I've seen in the last 2 weeks or so is Andy Balbirnie 100 here. What I loved about that 100 was it was so controlled, and it was wonderful to watch as well. People got to understand Ireland is an international side now, and they will probably be up there in one of the best hundreds you ever see from an Irishman. I mean, Shea Hope hundreds, I mean, he absolutely bullied the bowling. He's a quality, he's cut above the rest. But to see Andy Balbirnie score that 100, it was a wonderful 100 to watch. He reminded me of Mark Waugh. I know I'm not trying to say he's as good. Maybe he would be as good as Mark Waugh. Who never knows? He's a talent. But what I'm saying is that 100 just reminded me of Mark Waugh when I was a kid watching him play. So much time on the ball, high front elbow, pulling, flicking. He's a joy to watch.
Clip leg side. Beautiful timing again. In the chase in the deep. Should hold it in. Well, that's shocking. That is really, really poor in the deep. Beautiful timing. Another boundary. 6 overs bowled. 28 for no loss.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ আগাগোড়া মজবুত বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম
কাজী প্রথম কাজী শেষ
এটাই বেস্ট প্রাণ ঝালমুড়ি এমনই টেস্ট বাকি সব কিছু থেকে এটাই বেস্ট পানির প্রয়োজনে আমরা আছি সবসময় আপনার পাশে বাংলাদেশের সর্বাধিক ব্যবহৃত পানির ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী প্রথম গাজী সেরা বাংলাদেশের সমৃদ্ধিতে গাজী গ্রুপ
আরে ভাবি নতুন গাড়ি না নতুন আম্মু কত বড় কত বড়
পোলার জাফরান মালা আইসক্রিমে জাফরান ছানা কিসমিস খেজুর ও বাদামের দারুণ মিশ্রণ ভালো করতেই পারে পোলার আইসক্রিম মন ভালো থাকে
Here for the West Indies. Couple of boundaries, no wickets, and you said good start for the bowlers. We're showing our colours.
Well, not on this occasion. This is not the best fielding from the Fizz. Very disappointing down there at the deep mid-wicket boundary. Could he even hold it in with his boot? But yeah, once you try to restrict guys in the power play, for at least maybe 50 or 40, 45, 50, I think that's good bowling. And the pitch is played into both teams' hand 50-50 at this stage. The thing about it is that if Bangladesh can get a wicket now and really set the West Indies back, especially getting Shea Hope out, I think they might be in a driving seat so far. That's too high. I think Shea Hope wanted to hit that one to England. That was a big yahoo, as we will call it. He needs to hang in there. I think Shea Hope needs to understand that Darren Bravery is in no form whatsoever. And the longer he can stay out there in the middle,
innings in this series. Let's have a look at the wicket takers for the series. We've seen the leading batsman, Ashley Nurse, has bowled well. The Fizz has been good. Picked up 4 wickets in one game. Gabriel 6. Mortaz has been superb. Boyd Rankin. Ireland have struggled with the ball, but he's picked up 5, so he'll be happy with his return in the Walton Tri-Series. Ambrose on the pull. There's a man out in the deep. Shea Hope has generally gone about his business in a fairly quiet manner without disrespecting a strikeout around the 80%, but today he looks like he wants to get on with it a bit more. I'm not sure whether that's the best method for Shea Hope today.
you never know. Could be a team plan, be a little bit more aggressive in the power play. But what I think is is been detrimental so far in his approach is the good bowling from Bangladesh. I think they've really bowled well this morning. Good finish to the over. 7 overs bowled, 31 for no loss.
আমার বিশ্বাস বিশুদ্ধ পানি উৎপাদনে প্রাণ ড্রিঙ্কিং ওয়াটার সর্বোচ্চ মান নিয়ন্ত্রণের ক্ষেত্রে কোনো কম্প্রোমাইজ করে না। প্রাণ ড্রিঙ্কিং ওয়াটার, এক বোতল প্রাণ শক্তি। গাজীটার নিরাপদ পথচা। ভালোবাসার সুন্দর গল্পগুলো তো সুন্দর কিছু থেকেই শুরু হয়। নতুন ডিজাইন, পুরো স্টেনলেস স্টিল দিয়ে তৈরি। গাজী সিং কিচেনটা সুন্দর করে সংসারটা। ইফাত প্রিমিয়াম ড্রিঙ্কিং ওয়াটার, শুরু হোক বিশুদ্ধতায়।
Gloomy day. Couple of specks of rain just falling. We should be okay. Shouldn't be too much rain today. Seifert in to continue. Interesting, the pitches in this series, Tino, they haven't been overly quick. They haven't spun a great deal. They haven't seamed a great deal, but there's been some fine bowling performances, especially from the Bangladesh spinners, I think. I'm thinking of Shakib, Mehedi's been excellent. Ashley Nurse for the West Indies, very good. So, it's been good work by the spinners. It's been tough work for the seam bowlers. Batsmen have filled their boots. Well, did that miss the off stump? Neil Amber's eyes lit up. And in that 148 that he scored, he was hitting the ball beautifully straight. Even though he missed it, he just went leg slide slightly. Just hold your shape a little bit longer, Sunil. I think that one was going to go over by the cameraman. Straight back. But yeah, it's been a series that the batsmen have really cashed in. The bowlers, the seamers have found it a little bit tough. But that's the way of one-day cricket nowadays. Everything is against the bowler. Even the umpire's decision. Everything is against the bowlers, especially the seamers. So what I think, any advice I would give anyone playing this game now is try to make sure you can limit being hit for boundaries. So your strength have to be not only your line and your length, but also your field placement. I think it's very critical in this day and age of cricket. Well, I just wonder whether the West Indies are going a little bit too hard here. Bangladesh haven't got Shakib Al Hasan, who's been a real foil in their side, you would think. He's not playing. So there's 10 overs that Bangladesh have to find from elsewhere. Shakib would generally go for about 35 to 45 in these kind of conditions. So it looks to me they're trying to get on with it. But I think they can play a little bit more measured. There's a bit of swing out there. There's a little bit of shape in the air. It's a fresh wicket, so there's a little bit of movement. Not much. Probably a little bit more in the wicket for the bowlers, I would think, in this fixture than previous games. So maybe the West Indies can just try and take it a little bit deeper, give themselves a little bit more time. Bang on. Now, talking like a true wicket keeper. Yeah, look. 10 overs up. The Bangladeshis have to look for someone to bowl. Definitely playing the windies hand. He's the third man for a single. Another good over for Bangladesh. 8 overs bowled, 34 for no loss.
to run the ball down the third man. Tino, you've been in Ireland for a couple of weeks. Have you enjoyed your stay?
It's been lovely. Having a good chill in the land of my great-great-grandmother, Sarah Bess. I am an Irishman. Ireland runs through my veins. Not so much the cold.
Nice timing. Finds the man at backward point. Shea Hope, a little bit frustrated, you feel. He's found the fielders on a number of occasions, trying to pierce that offside. They've got a catching cover in place, a backward point, a square cover, mid-off, so it's hard to find the gap.
Some people might say, the viewers might say to themselves, isn't it raining? Why don't they come off? The thing about that is, it's a quick single, good calling, well fielded, good cricket. The thing about it is that once you don't start in the rain, but it just comes and it starts to be like this now, it's just what you call white rain, drizzle. You can continue in it. It's something I learned while playing county cricket. Maybe occasionally it'll be like, oh, aren't we going off? Say, no, Tino, we didn't start in it, but we can stay in it. Oh, miserable up in Yorkshire, but such a beautiful place nevertheless. So if in the Caribbean that's happening, they're going to come off for sure, but not in this part of the world.
Well, unfortunately, if you came off for a drizzle in Ireland, you'd never get any cricket in. A drizzle, mizzle, rain, sleet. Two good teams here contesting the final. Ireland will be very disappointed not to be here. A final in Irish conditions and the home side not here, but West Indies and Bangladesh looking to win a trophy and bring some confidence into the World Cup, which is just around the corner. A slight misfield, come through for single. That's been testament to the Bangladesh bowlers. Very straight, attacking the top of the off stump.
And what has happened in the last couple of deliveries as well, Shea Hope has calmed down a little bit. A few shots previously, maybe like on the last 8-9 balls, his face, he's looked a little bit frustrated. I think he's kind of said to himself, I have to hang in here. Let me just play the ball on its merit and just hang tight. But good bowling from Matasa. He's bowling wicket on wicket. That's what you want to see.
Well, again, last ball the over. Sonny Lambert just runs it a third man. Must be counting the balls. 9 overs bowled, 39 for no loss.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ আগাগোড়া মজবুত বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম
কাজেই প্রথম কাজেই শেষ
এটাই বেস্ট প্রাণ ঝালমুড়ি এমনই টেস্ট বাকি সব কিছু থেকে এটাই বেস্ট পানির প্রয়োজনে আমরা আছি সবসময় আপনার পাশে বাংলাদেশের সর্বাধিক ব্যবহৃত পানির ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী প্রথম গাজী সেরা বাংলাদেশের সমৃদ্ধিতে গাজী গ্রুপ
Well, Seifert in to continue from the Isfahani end. He has got a little bit of shape today. Attacking line, I like that. It's attacking bowling, attacking the top of the off stump, asking questions.
And what I like about Seifert as well is his action. I think he has a nice strong action. I would like to see from him if he can at least add maybe another 5 kilometers on his bowling. I think if he can do that, I think he can be a world-class bowler. When he gets the ball to outswing, gets it to straighten, and I like his action. If he can just put on 5k, I think he would be a good bowler for Bangladesh moving forward. That was well bowled again. Well, what I would like to see is a slip in place, especially when IMRAN is on strike. A wide slip, because he has the tendency of running the ball down to third man, and sometimes he doesn't pick the right ball. And that always happens when you're one of those players that like to run the ball. If Safadin and Mataza can continue bowling their line on length, I think he might run the ball down to the same place he was caught in the last game. So I think just missing the trick here.
Wonderful stroke. That's an absolute beauty. Flick leg side for a maximum. Flick of the wrist. Oh, just a flick of the wrist. And he's gone in the park. Look at this. Shea Hope, you little beauty. Look at that. Stand and deliver. The ball was on leg side. The leg side, it was easy picking, but you still have to execute. That was executed beautifully from Shea Hope. Well, that's a beautiful stroke. 3 boundaries is it, and the 1 maximum. So 18 of his 25 have come in boundaries. So, old boy on his walk on a Friday morning.
He's chucking it back from the park. Surprised he doesn't have a dog with him. Yes, he is cold. Look at him, he is absolutely freezing. Let me see that arm. Oh yes, that's a good arm. Pops. Oh yes, brilliant arm. Oh, yes indeed, the Fed saying thank you. That is a big arm. Could have been a baseball player.
Well, if I was in that field, I might have stuck that ball in my pocket and got on me weary way. Nice brand new Kookaburra ball.
And they're very expensive as well. So that's a good cricket shot. Good first maximum of the morning for the Windies.
I agree with you. Good single. Your point about Ambrose is excellent. A wide slip would be a very good position. And the last time he ran that ball to third man, he went to the other end, asked the umpire, was it on stumps? So that to me tells Ambrose not sure where his off stump is. So a slip would be a good position.
That's what happens when you have those guys that like to run the ball. That's a ball I want, to have that wide slip in place all the time. So I think Mataza has really dropped the ball on this occasion when it comes to Sunil Ambrose. Look at it again. Well, Shea Hope was not interested at all. He just yelled out no. I think that's the lowest time I've ever heard him say that. But look at this delivery again. Too close to cut. Shea Hope has said, yelled out no early. Can't be more clear than that, I can tell you.
Yeah, there's been a few inconsistent calls between these two in the series. Probably not got the understanding that Hope might have with a more established international player. In the air, chipped. Should plug, should be hauled in. Ambrose wants 3. Hope wants 3. Good chip from Ambrose to finish the 10th. 50 for no loss.
আসছো তোমাকে গোলাপের ভালোবাসা তোর তুমি শুধুই আমার কোথায়
এই প্রথম স্ট্রবেরি ফ্লেভারড বিস্কিটের পোলার স্ট্রবেরি আইসক্রিম কোন ভালো করতেই পারে মন দুধ কিন্তু খারাপ না পোলার আইসক্রিম মন ভালো থাকে এটাই বেস্ট প্রাণ ঝালমুড়ি এমনই টেস্ট বাকি সব কিছু থেকে এটাই বেস্ট
Has left the com box, fancy dressed as he was, and a very dapper individual as John Alan Lewis.
I kind of denial that. Nice to be known as dapper, not as dapper as Tino. He's got his best of clubber on for Sunday church. Looking very well, Tino, today. Just one thing I've noticed, Niall, it was interesting you talking on comms there. Nothing expressed here about this Bangladesh attack, but if the Ireland bowling unit were coming down to look at this, you spoke about line and length and watchfulness of batsmen and a little bit more concentration on that aspect of cricket by them. They could learn a bit here today.
Well, that's exactly where they've been. Thereabouts. Attack the top of the off stump. It's not a wicket where you can blast batsmen out with pace and bounce and seam movement. Hit a line of length. Make the batsmen do something they don't want to do. It's a good power play all the same. West Indies were 50 for no loss, so they'll be happy, but Bangladesh have bowled well. A couple of half chances created, but so far, game in the balance.
I think when you look across this series, no one has blasted at any stage in this series. They've largely played on good pitches. This one, as you say, is that little bit lower today.
That's clever by Shea Hope there. There could have been total confusion there, and rightly, Ambrose was a wee bit confused. His back turn, and quite rightly he went back. Clever batting from Hope.
Well, there's a clear misunderstanding between this pair. This is the third time today there's been a miscommunication. They've been lucky. They haven't resulted in a run out.
Well, again, a lot of that is to do with the relationship as well, because largely over this series, the running by the West Indies has been very, very good.
Well, that's a great shot. Shea Hope smashes that one in the air, yes. Murtaza was hopeful. There was a shouted catch, but it was too hard, and the placement was good.
Well, if anything, just a little bit wide, but again, from a bowling point of view, wasn't a bad length at all. It was hit in the air, placement to key, and it races to the boundary. And you can see from the reaction of Murtaza, he won't be that worried about that.
Well, as a bowler, that's what you want. Make them hit. Okay, it's not his best ball, but it's a decent length. Make them hit a good length and take a chance. Punches, wants two, should get two. Well, there's a clear misunderstanding. One batsman wanting two, the other one not.
Well, all I've watched of Shea Hope in this series, he's always pushing twos. You can clearly see, look, he's off. I don't know yet. Ambra's having a bit of a giggle.
Well, they won't be laughing if one of them gets run out. So they need to sort their calling out here.
Worst way to get out in cricket. No.
You've been very impressed with Hope this series, Alan. Very fine player. Big part to play, you think, for the West Indies in the World Cup?
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's going to be very interesting because he's just clocked up so many runs opening the batting. His record opening the batting over the last couple of innings has been spectacular. And the thing that I like so much about him is just his technical work. He's technically so good, and he's done ever so well. It's Harry Carey out there at the end of the 11th, 57 without loss. Come on, boys!
আমার বিশ্বাস বিশুদ্ধ পানি উৎপাদনে প্রাণ ড্রিঙ্কিং ওয়াটার সর্বোচ্চ মান নিয়ন্ত্রণের ক্ষেত্রে কোনো কম্প্রোমাইজ করে না। প্রাণ ড্রিঙ্কিং ওয়াটার, এক বোতল প্রাণ শক্তি। গাজীটার নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা।
গাজি স্টোভ একদিকে যেমন গ্যাস সাশ্রয়ী, তেমনি রান্নার লোডও নিতে পারে প্রচুর। গাজি স্টোভ কিচেনের পারফেক্ট পার্টনার। কৃষকের আস্থা।
Successful at the top of the order. It'll be really interesting to see which way they turn.
Well, Evan Lewis hasn't played a great deal of cricket of late. He's been in India, warming the bench. So you've got Hope, who's in form. Gale is obviously a certainty to play. Change of bowling from the Isfahani end. The Fizz, who took a bit of tap early in the series, but bounced back well with 4 wickets on this venue to pick up a Man of the Match award.
Form is temporary, Niall. Class is permanent, and the Fizz is a class act, as his record will tell you. And bouncing back is part of cricket.
Well, this is good captaincy from Murtaza. He's put a slip in place. Myself and Tina were going on and on about it. The viewers must have been frustrated listening. We wanted a slip in place, and all of a sudden the Fizz, who's a more senior statesman, probably told the captain, give me a slip. Siphoned in early in his career, maybe hasn't got the confidence to take to Murtaza, I want a slip.
And the interesting piece, just look how wide he is. He's there for that dab. It's not alone a catching position, also a run-saving position. Push your third man that little bit wider.
All the way with real authority. Smash leg side. Sonny Lambris can't run at the third man, so smashes it for 4.
Actually wasn't all that short, that, but he's just nearly, in a sense, premeditated. Whacked that in front of square for 4. Great shot. Destructive batsman, Niall.
He's a good player, a lot of ability. I hadn't seen a great deal of him before this series, I must admit, but I've been very impressed. A clean striker of the ball, looks hungry for runs, aggressive, taking the attack to the bowler. Another option for the West Indies moving forward next couple of years at the top of the order. Good short ball, but just going back to the bowler requesting a field, and you captain Ireland for many years. At which stage do you tell a bowler what field, and at which stage do you accept?
I think first and foremost you must trust your bowler. You must give your bowler confidence. If it's the sort of thing that he feels will work for him, you go with it. There's certain times in a game you may have to do Sergeant Major on it, in terms of the aspect, the way you're thinking about a team. And I think clearly someone like Owen Morgan would be very direct about that type of thing, but you will always back your bowler. Another great shot. Full from the fizz, but it's been smashed down the ground by Ambrose. And he's taking control here for the West Indies. Some great batting.
Well, foot stays leg side. Gives himself access to the ball. Too wide, too full from the fizz. Easy pickings for a man of Sonny Lambris' form. It's a cold day, but they're warm in applause.
That's been another significant piece. It's the way the batsmen have latched on to width. Width is the key thing here, and anything that is wide or in any way offline, they're looking to manoeuvre it away. They've largely coasted here to 65 as we get to the end of the 12th.
Short ball, put away. Third for the over. Sonny Lambris getting into his groove.
Here's another question for you. I just wonder, when there's so many things going on in a bowler's mind, and we talk about this thing top of off stump, and we look at this over so far, probably from a ball, his first boundary that he hit, that wasn't all that bad a ball, and suddenly we have a bumper, wide long half volley, bumper. What goes through a bowler's mind? You've spoken to them enough, you've been behind the bowls.
Well, we'll come back to that conversation, because it might need more than one ball. That might be a wide. Short ball. Gets away with it. 12 overs bowled. 69 for no loss.
এটাই বেস্ট প্রাণ ঝালমুড়ি এমনই টেস্ট বাকি সব কিছু থেকে এটাই বেস্ট
আরে ভাবি, নতুন গাড়ি না? নতুন। আম্মু, কত বড় ক? কত বড় ক? কত বড় ক?
পোলার জাফরান মালা আইসক্রিমে জাফরান ছানা কিসমিস খেজুর ও বাদামের দারুণ মিশ্রণ ভালো করতেই পারে পোলার আইসক্রিম মন ভালো থাকে
Great start here for the West Indies, losing the toss, being asserted by Mashrafi Mortaza. 69 for no loss. Got a change of bowling at the polar end. Mossadegh Hussain, right-arm off spinner early in his career. Not a great average. Economy rate is good, and a best of 3 for 13. He'll be hoping for something similar today.
Well, this will be the facet of the game for me. How West Indies attack slow bowling, which they have not done at any stage in this series. Very few sweeps. And again, interesting now, which is something they haven't done in previous games. Bangladesh, man posted out in the deep mid-wicket boundary, which they hadn't bothered with up to this particular game. So good tactics from them.
Yeah, everyone up on the offside for the offie. They're not a sweeping nation. You don't think of West Indies in the last 10 years as sweepers. You think of Gale, Samuels, the Bravos of this world. They're not big sweepers of the ball, more power players. But this current side haven't used their power at all this series. They've been very watchful against spin.
It's something I've been really surprised with, because when you look around the world of international cricket, it's such a profitable shot if played correctly and well.
wait and see is the call. No Shakib today, of course, of Bangladesh, so that's a plus for the West Indies batsman. Right arm Mufi, Mossadegh. It's going to be wide leg side.
It's a funny one because it obviously in that game against Arlen Shakib, side strain, difficult sometimes for a bowler, but he did it batting obviously. Such a pivotal player for Bangladesh, as we know, so he'll be wrapping cotton wool for the next week or two, I would imagine.
Well, from Dhaka to Chattogram to Khulna to Sylhet, they'll all be keeping their fingers and toes crossed as Shakib comes through this injury. Short, pulled away. They've got protection, as you mentioned, Alan, but such a huge star in Bangladesh, Shakib. Pivotal player, you would think, for Bangladesh to have any chance of going to the knockout stage of the World Cup. He needs to be fit and fiery.
Well, he's just the type of player I love watching right throughout his career. His calmness, his variety when he bowls, and the speed with which he bowls an over. If he's got 3 dots early, he's 3 in a minute and 15 seconds, and you think, where have you gone? And I always remember in the late stage of our career, in my career, Hansi Cronje talked about that, how games can be lost in the middle overs. And if you look at the games they've lost against Bangladesh in this series, it's the middle overs they've lost it.
Good work. Miraz at mid-wicket, 13 overs bowled, 74 for no loss.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ। গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
কাজী প্রথম, কাজী শেষ।